I've always liked the morning shift. You wake up before dawn, and the air is crisp and cold no matter what time of the year. One of the small benefits to living in a coastal city. While cities like this never really sleep, it is interesting to see it just after it's had a quick nap. The fog comes in heavy, bringing the languid silhouettes of labourers just in view. When I was new to the watch, every silhouette made me jump for my cudgel. A rope seller coiling his supplies looked like a thief, ready to break into a business. A group of builders with a lantern looked like a group of political revolutionaries, ready to start trouble. A man cloaking himself from the rain could have been a watchman killer. God, I would give myself a pinch if I had met myself back then. After a few years, I learned that it is rarely as exciting as all that. For the most part, people want to be left well enough alone, and it's no different for the average watchman. 5 silver a month, no paid overtime, and not a single person silly enough to consider courting you. It is certainly not for everyone, but someone needs to keep the peace, so they hire anyone's. I've been with the watch for 3 years, and I have seen every kind of face. I've seen the face of a stevedore with a missing arm, resenting me for standing around and getting paid for doing seemingly and sometimes literally nothing. I've seen the worried faces of the rare tiefling who assume I will club them just for looking at me. I've seen the glances of the guilty, wondering how quickly I can catch and arrest them if they start sprinting. Worst of all, I've seen the faces of everyday people, wondering if I'm going to harass them today. All the glares and glances have made me jaded, and here I thought being the center of attention was a good thing. Still, I stand, I watch, and I wait. While I'm more experienced, the part of my youth that has never left me is my propensity to mentally prepare myself for anything. Every person that walks by, I imagine how I can best take them down. I look at anyone turning a corner down the street and count the seconds they are out of sight. I suppose professionals would call that paranoia, but the City Watch doesn't really have professionals. It's no wonder the people are cautious of us. Just look at what we're carrying. The cudgel is up front where everyone can see it. The sword is right next to it. Sure, the cudgel is our go-to weapon of choice in a threat, but the thing that cuts people's heads off is just a twitchy finger away. You can hardly blame people for running away at first sight of the watchman's step. If we are good at our jobs, our handy calling bells should be all we need. I have made a mental scale of how I would use our tools though. Good guidelines for me. 1. If it is a petty crime, the bell should be all you need. It's light, noisy, and easily replaceable, so you can hit someone without crippling them, and not pay more than a few copper for a new one. 2. If the subject has a weapon, the cudgel should be able to get the job done. Most people who pull a knife are just desperate. 9 times out of 10, they're more of a danger to themselves than to a watchman. 3. Hope you never have to pull a sword on someone. If you do, then the city has probably been lost and you are better off running away. I am sure at one point the City Watch was respected, and the citizens saw them as this comforting hand of law and order. But every now and then, stories begin to ruminate about a watchman who got a little too self-protective and killed someone. It is amazing how people will forget your name the moment you've arrested a shoplifter, but will never forget a watchman who killed someone normal like them. A few of those stories get out. Then suddenly, you are the enemy, the Lord's lapdogs, paid bullies. You've become everything but a watchman. The city has only aided the people in making such affirmations. Rather than hiring good watchmen and getting rid of the bad ones, they put collars and leashes on all of us. Our badges are to be presented, as well as our names when entering criminal events, and these new sheaths for our swords are intentionally tricky to unlock, making sure that any watchman with a bad idea must take at least 5 seconds to change his mind before stabbing someone. I've never needed to draw my sword though, so I did not bother attending the meeting or reading the letter about it. As bad as it all is, I've learned an important lesson. We are all hypocrites by nature, and when a scream is heard, everyone looks to the watch for action. They look to me. If they are lucky, they may catch a flash of me turning a corner, ringing my bell, shouting, "All is not well."